All right, guys, so here we go. So I was out on a walk this morning and had a lot of good thoughts going on that I want to get out there. So the title for this video is going to be Building a Mental Six-Pack. So, everyone would love to have a six-pack. It's really hard to do, right? Why? Because it shows a very strong sense of discipline, and it makes you stand out, right? Because most people don't have one, okay? And it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of time. All right. But here's the thing. What we're trying to do here is build a mental six-pack up here. So check this out. So everyone's, trying to chase these external things. They're thinking that if you can get the right person, or if you, drink enough alcohol, or do enough drugs, or build a six-pack, or get really big muscles, that it's going to fix your life. But what we're all looking for is peace on the inside. Now, when we do this, when we focus on the inside, a lot of times we have beneficial things happen externally, which is cool. But that can't be your focus. Your focus has to be on the inside, right? And the cool thing about semen retention is it's going to make you aware of this, and it's going to make you aware of when you're disconnected from God and his plan for you, and you're not going to be good. We hear it today, everyone's depressed, right? Everyone has all these mental issues and problems. A pill's not going to fix that, okay? It's like, that's an external thing. You're trying to fix an internal problem with something external, okay? But you've got to fix you on the inside, and you've got to get whole. And so semen retention puts you on a righteous path, and it's going to make you aware of the things in your life that you need to acknowledge but let go of. And so this all kind of came about. I'm going for a walk this morning, and lately I've been edging, and what I've noticed, I've become more aware of physically how it makes me feel during and after too. It's like it's just sapping my energy. So I told myself this morning, I was like, I got to get up, I got to get moving. And while I was walking, I was thinking about the six-pack deal, and it's like, this is a journey, right? It's been over a year for me. And, the edging thing, I've come to realize, and that's just been an evolution for me this last while, is the physical element, the spiritual element to edging. And how, again, it's kind of like all the vices where you're trying to escape reality. You're trying to escape yourself. Well, we're trying to level ourselves up spiritually from the inside out. So we've got to be conscious and aware of not only the external things, but the internal things that we think about, okay, and how it affects us. And so to build this spiritual six-pack is you've got to, in your mind, you've got to start to acknowledge and focus. You don't want to escape all this stuff, but acknowledge it and see what it does to you, and how is it a benefit or not, okay? And it's just something you've got to experience. I can tell you, but you can't teach this stuff. And there's a guy I listen to, Beyond the Alchemy, that he's got a lot of really good videos. I remember when I first heard him, I thought he was kind of quirky, but just, you can tell, he gets all this stuff. And, I can tell you, what to do and how to act, but it's, you've got to transcend all this on your own with God, and get to a place where you're building a strong mind. You're building a six-pack in your head so that you don't easily get tripped up by things in this world, and you don't get off path. Oh, I need this, and he said something. I was watching this video, and it's so true that, like, you can think that, like, all this external stuff, you need it, but you'll achieve it and realize, guess what? It's not enough. You need more. It's like an addict. Like, you just need more and more and more and more. And when it doesn't work, you see this in relationships today, right? Like, if it doesn't work here, well, then I've got to go over here and get it. And I need all this dopamine, right? I'm trying to get all this dopamine, and it'll never be enough because everyone's trying to fill the void inside with, money, sex, drugs, alcohol, you name it, right? Spending money, all that kind of stuff. And this is, when I very first started this, the one thing going back to this that I know for a fact is that you're looking for God. And when you focus on God and his plan for you, and it's a righteous plan, not a worldly plan, but a righteous one, he starts to work in you and starts to show you stuff. And look, you may fall down, you may fall short on this journey, you probably will. What I can tell you is very important is repentance and going to God and saying, God, help me, forgive me for fill in the blank, and continue to ask for strength and protection. That's what I've done. And he's revealing all this to me, where it's like, hey, like I do want a physical six-pack. It's something I've always kind of wanted. But I realized on my walk this morning that, that'll be great and it'll come. But what's more important is to build a mental six-pack. And that is where I transcend the worldly things to where I'm getting there, where it's just like, hey, I don't need them, right? Like, I can enjoy life, I can enjoy things, but I don't need them. That's not what's gonna make me a whole person, okay? But I know when I follow God and pray and strive to live a righteous life and let go of sinful things, especially with my thoughts as well, that it makes me stronger. Whereas when I don't, it takes energy away from me, okay? And so that, to me, is the whole concept of a mental six-pack, is that you're trying to transcend the world and worldly thinking and worldly things, and thinking external things are going to fix your issues and problems. They won't, right? It'll never be enough. Once you get there, you're going to start to let go of this stuff, and whatever, you're going to realize whatever it may be. Like I said, alcohol, drugs, sex, spending money, food, right? Binge watching screens, Netflix, it used to be, but like YouTube, playing video games to escape, all these different things. You're trying to escape, right? You're constantly trying to escape yourself. But just be with yourself and be with God a little bit, and let him show you and reveal to you what he can do in your life and how he can build you up mentally. And go back to what I said in the beginning, like, to get a six-pack, it's very hard. It takes discipline. Well, guess what? What's even harder is to mentally let go of all these things I talked about. Because it's so rare. It's so rare. You will build a mental six-pack when you start to transcend all this. Like, if you tell someone, hey, I'm not going to have sex till I'm married, no pornography, no masturbation, I'm not going to be chasing after women, for example. Are you gay? Right? Like, people can't comprehend, like, that's actually, like, biblically what we're called to do. But it's like, it's so rare. Like, it's so rare now to hear something like that, right? Or a lot of people will just say, well, I can't do that. Like that's how strong they are mentally, is like they give up without even, they can't even think about it. They can't even, let alone even try it, okay? So it's going to, to follow this lifestyle, it's not easy, but it's going to get you to a place that you were always destined to be. It's who you were always designed to be. Okay, and like I've said, the cool thing is that in a roundabout way, you're going to start to experience stuff in the world that's just going to come to you, and you'll just have to see it to find out. But I've experienced this. It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. So this video is just about building yourself up mentally, letting go of thoughts and external things. Like, let them go. Let them go. Just experiment with it. Like, totally, if you've got to, like, totally, back away from something for a while, 6 months, a year, whatever, just do it and just kind of see what happens. But you'll start to take action in other areas of your life and just realize some of the stuff that you thought was important is not that important. Okay, so semen retention will help you build a spiritual and mental six-pack. God bless.